Hi, and welcome to another episode of Hot Takes with me, the Silver Fox. Now, we all know about the COVID inquiries asked all participants not to destroy or delete WhatsApp messages. They have got half of the conversations here, there, and everywhere. So they know a lot of them have gone through and they have the receipts of them from various people. Now, this presents Nicola Sturgeon with a problem. She doesn't know what they have, and so she can't just willy-nilly delete the messages, especially the ones that will damage her so very much. And if she does, then she's in contempt of court because, of course, she's had that notice not to destroy. When asked about whether these messages have been handed over to the inquiry, the SNP government is getting very shady on it. It's secretive. It doesn't want to say. Now, the very fact that it isn't saying yes indicates quite clearly that when asked, have you handed them all over, that the answer is no. And if not, why not? And if not, why do you think they aren't being handed over? Are they truly so damaging? And if she does delete the wrong ones and they find out, that's contempt and she can go to jail. It must be very worrying if your name is Nicola Sturgeon and there's an inquiry coming on and you don't know what WhatsApp messages they have. Oh dear, what tangled webs we weave. I shall go into this, we'll have a look, we'll see what's going on and see how worried Nicola Sturgeon must be, how much her little bottom must be puckering. Here goes. So, mystery surrounds Nicola Sturgeon's COVID WhatsApps as secretive SNP government refuses to say if they've been sent to the inquiries. And if they're refusing, as we say, if they're refusing to say yes, you know the answer is no. And that's how it works. So no, they haven't been sent to the inquiry. First Minister Yousaf previously claimed at Holyrood that he would make sure all messages requested by the COVID inquiries would be supplied, but his government officials refused to confirm this because we know half the officials are in on this and they don't want to go to jail either. Mystery surrounds whether Nicola Sturgeon's COVID WhatsApps have been sent to the two inquiries which have requested them, as the secretive Scottish government has refused to release information about how it is handling the requests. It dare not let the truth come out. The truth for them is jail, isn't it? It pours doubt over claims made by First Minister Yousaf in June. Well, every time he opens his mouth, you know it's a lie. I mean, the fact he said, we'll comply and we'll send all these means no chance in hell. He's going to cover himself. He's got to make sure that nothing gets out that will damage anyone. He confirmed that he would ensure that all material asked for is handed over to the probes. It came after lawyers from Ms Sturgeon said that she did not have any relevant informal correspondence about the pandemic. And if you believe that, I've got a motorhome to sell you. Because they have the receipts on the other end. This is public knowledge now. And it's not for her to say what is relevant. It's for the inquiry to say what is relevant. Now, the Scotsman reports that ministers have refused to confirm or deny, which means deny, the existence of any internal correspondence about how it is handling requests from the COVID inquiries for her WhatsApp messages. Solicitors representing bereaved families have demanded that all messages be handed over in full. She cannot afford to do that because she knows if she does that and hands it over, she'll be doing the rest of her life in prison. Scottish Labour leader Anna Sawar had pressed Mr Yousaf on this during First Minister's questions in June, as he urged his rival to be honest. You're asking the SNP to be honest. Are you naive? And to help the inquiries as much as he could, as he highlighted a number of SNP cover-ups, which meant that the Scots do not have full trust in the party, or indeed any trust whatsoever. But when the Scottish Government was asked for any correspondence about how it handled the request for messages or how it went satisfying whether they even existed, officials refused to say. Now, we know that when these messages come out, and they will eventually come out, they will result in a lot of people going to prison. So it's in everybody's interest that nobody speaks. The trouble is the inquiry will have some of them. The people involved don't know which ones the inquiry have got. If they delete them, and they can be seen on the phones at the time of when they were deleted, and if they were deleted after the do not delete message went out, that is a very serious crime. And literally they could go to prison for years for this. Then you have to ask, why is it so bad that they'd rather risk going to prison for a couple of years for contempt rather than releasing this information and letting it go out? It goes to show how bad that information must be. Perhaps, allegedly, direct instructions to let people die, or indeed to encourage procedures that would kill them. And this is what she is so worried about. And if that was the case, then that makes her, perhaps, a murderer. The officials relied on the argument that the COVID inquiry had made them sign a confidential agreement so that any requests for information would remain secret. However, this does not recover conversations on how those requests are handled. They added, if held, the release of this material would prejudice substantially, or would likely to prejudice substantially, the effective conduct of public affairs. That's what they're saying. What they're saying is, if this is released, then we won't be able to do our job because we'll be in prison. That's basically what they're saying. Yousaf very publicly stated that all information requested would be handed over in full. He said, to ensure there's simply no doubt whatsoever, any material that is asked for, WhatsApp messages, emails, signals, telegrams, whatever, will absolutely be handed over to the COVID inquiries and handed over to them in full. To obviate this, there needs to be a law that all politicians must not use outside communication. It must be official communication. And to do so otherwise should be a 10-year imprisonment. Straight up, 10 years in prison if you use anything other than official channels to talk about official matters. Do that, and all of a sudden they won't be doing it, because if it comes to light that they've used WhatsApp, for example, to send official news or to discuss official matters, and they know they're going to prison for 10 years, it only takes to send 1 or 2 to prison and it will stop. The thing is, they don't want to use official channels because official channels keep the records. That's the last thing they want. Truth. All the time. What's the one thing that absolutely destroys the SNP? Truth. Scottish Labour hit out at the secretive culture of the Scottish Government over its refusal to even confirm or deny the existence of the information. Deputy Leader Dame Jackie Bailey said it was simply shocking the public would not be able to find out about whether Miss Sturgeon's WhatsApps had been shared. She said Humza Yousaf promised in the Scottish Parliament that the people of Scotland would have full disclosure surrounding communications by government officials during the pandemic. It is now abundantly clear that Mr Yousaf's government is now contemplating a cover-up, and that his promises were little more than hot air. People deserve to know what the former First Minister said and did relating to the pandemic. Effectively, what Dame Jackie is saying there, in certain terms because of unparliamentary language now, is Humza Yousaf is a liar. He is outright stood in Holyrood and lied to the members of that assembly. That's it. And he has. The man is a liar. We know he's an incompetent, but now we know also, without a shadow of a doubt, that he is a liar, and you can never ever believe anything he says. For many Scots who lost loved ones during the pandemic, this will be as a deep disappointment, she said. It is vital that there is full transparency in regard to decisions that were made around the pandemic and the information provided to the COVID inquiry, so we can ensure the necessary lessons are learned. We need the truth to come out, and that, of course, is why none of it must, as far as the SNP are concerned. The SNP cannot have the truth coming out. Scottish Government spokesman said, we're fully cooperating with the Scottish and UK COVID public inquiries, and where requested and provided material held. We will continue to do so wherever possible. No, it's always possible. It's always possible. It's just whether you want to or not. This is a sting. It is a cover-up. It is becoming absolutely obvious, even to a blind man, that this is going to be a whitewash. They will not release all the pertinent information. They will certainly not release the information that will put the likes of Sturgeon and Freeman and everyone else behind bars, because they don't want this to happen. The SNP can't allow this to happen. We need Labour to push this. We need the Tories up there to push this. We need everyone to push this. It must be released and then handed over to the police for a full investigation onto the suspected murder or corporate murder of 5,500 people. And then a trial, and then somebody has to go to jail for the rest of her natural life. I'll stop there and come up. When you ask anyone in authority, politician or the establishment, anyone like that, an answer that requires a yes or no, sorry, a question that requires a yes or no response, and they say anything other than yes or no, then you know they're lying, they're covering up, there's something going on. Have you handed this over to the police? Well, and the moment they don't say yes, you know it's no. That's how it is. If you can't say yes, the answer's a no. And of course, having said that he would hand everything over to the inquiries and then ask, well, we were going to, prevarication and whatever. It's a no. And that means Humza Yousaf is quite clearly a liar. But hey, that doesn't come as breaking news to anyone. I shall stop there. Thank you very much for watching. I do want this to rumble on. I want us always to question what is going on. We need the truth. We want to find out what's in those WhatsApps. That's got to be published. And we've got to see what was said to whom, by whom. And if there is any indication that these people deliberately drove policy to end the lives of human beings, then they need to be prosecuted for murder and jailed for the rest of their lives. I'll stop there. Thank you very much. And until next time, stay safe, stay well, and remember, the truth always comes out. Thank you.